to be quiet, please. Thank you. All right, here we go. This is lesson. Does anybody not see the red? Is the red a problem for anybody?
No,
You're good? Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay. We're losing our focus, please. If you already know how to do it, you should be working on homework. If you don't know how to do it, you can be watching and listening and engaging with the notes. Otherwise, let's mind our neighbor, give them space to be learning right now. All right, see, in the textbook, it says solving equations involving integers part 2. That meant we've already done that. They said, like I said, it was going to be messier. This time, the equations are a little more advanced, and so we're going to use distributive property and like terms. So they call it the distributive property. I didn't see any in the homework. All right, they have you check your answers. So let me go ahead and write down the examples I give you. Negative 6x minus 5x is 22. So first step, combine like terms. See my writing? Yep. So what's alike? The negative 6x and the negative 5x. Add up to a negative 11x. That's where the calculator would come in handy if you're not good with negatives. Okay. Now, many people are like allergic to calculators, but if it was a tool for you on your job, you'd use it. That's why I honor calculators.
It makes the job easier.
Yep, makes your job faster, easier, and more correct. Because we all make mistakes. Yeah, there's nobody. Yeah.
No one's perfect.
Yes, no one is perfect. And even when you put it in your calculator, you could make a mistake. But especially with these yellow calculators, they do show you what you entered. So if you were wrong on your homework or the test, you could see what you entered. And that's why I have you keep your own calculator. Yep, and then you can fix your mistakes. Okay, so number 1 was combine like terms. Number 2 was divide both sides, right? Why did I use divide?
Yes,
It's the opposite of the multiplication that's going on. Negative 11 was the multiplier, so that's why you divide. And number 3, evaluate or simplify, maybe? Okay. Now you can put your answer in the original question to check it, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. I think if you want to do that, like for your tests or whatever, you could do that. Otherwise, I think we're good. Now, I mind that it looked like the homework was pretty simple. So they're not going to have distributive on the homework, but I probably will have it on like your warm-up because I need you to have exposure to it. And what I'm talking about is, what if I have 11 equals 3x minus the parenthesis 1 minus x? First of all, the x's are on the right side. That makes this crazy. Second of all, there's a negative outside a parenthesis. Sometimes we don't know what to do with that, etc., etc. These two cannot be combined. They are not alike. Okay, so be careful, you wanna do something that you can't do, don't do that. So step number 1 here is distribute. Sometimes you never know. Sometimes you can put it together what's in the parentheses, sometimes you can't. That's what makes algebra difficult. Every problem is different. Only the patterns. You can only follow the laws of the universe. This is really a -1 here. So I'm distributing a -1 times a 1 and a -1 times a -x. Okay, step number 2, combine like terms. Always want to combine like terms before you start moving things from the left side and the right side of the equation. And that's what's a little different from last lesson about equations is you didn't have to combine like terms before you solved it. Okay. These two are alike, 3x plus 1x.
Correct.
So I combine like terms. Step number 3. Add the 1. Always divide last. So, I mean, you could try to be a hero and do it in your head, but a good worker, when things get complicated, you write things down. So, when you make a mistake, not if, but when you make a mistake, you can trace your steps back. Because this stuff you can't do in the calculator. The algebra doesn't fit in your calculator. They don't make, no earbuds in the ears, please.
What is hearing you? Hearing
Be respectful. Yeah, my mom had hearing problems. She was deaf towards the end of her life, so I know hearing aids. Okay. So, as I was saying, there's no such thing as an algebra calculator unless you go to Mathway. Now, is Mathway allowed on assessments?
Yes,
No. No. So, yes. Now, I don't know where we're going to go with that, you know, in the future. Step number 4 was divide both sides by 4. And step number 5 was simplify. So there's 5 steps for that one. Okay. Now, does it bother you the X is on the right? Does that make you crazy?
Okay.
Okay. I had a college student, like, she could not, that didn't make sense to her. She had to switch it to think about it. She really did. And I admired her to compensate for her, you know, she saw it as a weakness, she compensated for it, and who knows, I'm sure her dream has come true. I think she wanted to go into nursing. So, yeah. Okay. You gotta be realistic, right? Okay, here's one that always, here's one that trips people up. Somebody just asked me about it this morning. I think it was Caesar. Okay, this one. Let's do this one. And then I'll leave you alone. To work by yourself, ask questions. Okay. First thing, combine like terms. 3 minus 4 is a -1, isn't it? So this is where people think this is the answer. But X is not alone. Remember what's really there is a -1. So divide both sides by -1. So your answer is a 4. And you know the software, it has no mercy. If you get a negative wrong, it's all wrong. So there you go. That is 3.5. 3.6 is applications. So it's a perfect time to be here. You don't want to miss that story. It's all the word problems. Word problems, yes.
Word.
So